The evening slows down, and suddenly the past feels close. Tonight, we're opening the door to 10 overlooked R&B groups from the 1960s, bands that didn't make headlines, but made their way into living rooms, late-night radios, and quiet moments all the same. Back then, music arrived gently, from AM radio, corner record shops, and car speakers humming with static. You didn't chase it. It found you, and when it did, it stayed. These were voices that didn't reach the top shelf, but settled somewhere deeper. Songs that played during long drives, slow dances, and moments you didn't know you'd remember forever. And when we reach number 1, you'll hear a group that could have changed more than a few living rooms, if only more people had heard them. Let's begin. Number 10, That's All I Need by the Masqueraders. There's a patience in this song that almost makes you lean in. The Masqueraders weren't a household name, not even close. But in the mid-60s, down in Memphis, they were cutting records with the kind of harmony that felt stitched from real skin and blood. This wasn't polish, it was heart. Their sound rode low, like dusk settling over a small town. That's All I Need doesn't beg. It doesn't shout. It simply says what needs to be said, the way you'd say it to someone you loved but didn't know how to keep. One detail stands out, the falsetto. It trembles, not from weakness but from truth. It's the kind of vocal that doesn't ask for your attention. It earns it. You might have heard it once on a late-night station and never caught the name. But if you did, it probably stayed with you longer than you expected. Some songs don't need to rise, they just need to stay. Number 9, You're Gonna Make Me Cry by the mighty Hannibal.
That we gonna make it.
Some voices feel like gravel warmed in honey, and Hannibal had one of those. Emerging from the mid-60s Atlanta soul scene, the mighty Hannibal didn't come dressed in restraint. He brought feathers, flair, and something even rarer, a vulnerability that cut through the costume. You're Gonna Make Me Cry was a slow burner, a backroom ballad that whispered instead of wailed.
I may not be.
This track isn't built for dancing. It's built for remembering. Those quiet moments when you realize love is slipping and there's not a thing you can do to stop it. The organ drifts behind the beat like a memory you keep revisiting. Hannibal's voice doesn't plead, it confesses. There's one line, simple and aching. I gave you all I had. No high note, no crescendo, just a man standing alone in the truth of what he lost.
We're gonna make it!
It's the kind of song you might have stumbled on while scanning late-night frequencies wrapped in static, but clear enough to stir something you thought you tucked away. Not every heartbreak needs fireworks. Some just need a voice like his. Number 8, I'll Be Sweeter Tomorrow by the OJs, Early Years.
I always like to be on my P's and Q's.
Before the OJs became the sound of Philly soul, they were something quieter, something closer to the porch light. In their early years, the group made records like I'll Be Sweeter Tomorrow, full of tender hope and gentle regret. This one floats, not struts. The harmonies are warm, like friends reassuring each other over coffee after a long night.
Got news for you. Good.
No big production, just voices that knew each other deeply. The strings don't command, they sigh. And in the middle of it all is that promise. Tomorrow will be sweeter. You almost believe it. A small detail. The lead vocal doesn't try to steal the spotlight, it shares it. That humility, that closeness, is what made early OJ's records feel like they belonged in your living room, not just on your stereo.
I know you love me.
Sometimes, the quieter version of a great band is the one that leaves the deepest echo. If these songs have stirred something in you, if you felt a name you hadn't thought of in decades come back to life, subscribing helps keep these stories alive. We remember better when we remember together. Number 7, You're Gonna Need Me by The Gospel Truth.
But you're gonna need me, or you're gonna need.
This wasn't a band with a Billboard name, and chances are, their records didn't spin too often outside certain corners of Detroit. But You're Gonna Need Me is one of those songs that seems built from second chances and half-closed doors. The Gospel Truth blurred the line between gospel and deep soul. But this track,
Talking about you and your new girl.
it stood firmly in that lonely place where love and pride wrestle. The tempo is slow, deliberate, as if the band knew exactly how long it would take the heart to catch up. The lead singer holds back, not from fear, but from control. Every word lands like a letter never sent, and the horns, they don't shout, they warn. One recording story lingers. The take that made it to vinyl was supposedly the only one that felt too real to repeat. You can hear that. You can feel that. Some voices don't echo through history. They whisper through it. Number 6, Just Another Heartache by the Lollipops. Don't let the name fool you. The Lollipops weren't sugar pop. They were a raw, teenage R&B group out of Texas that laid everything bare in Just Another Heartache. The track barely made it past the state lines, but for those who heard it, it wasn't easily forgotten. Their harmonies were loose, almost fragile. But there's something about young voices learning to grieve in real time. It hits different. The song carries the sting of a first heartbreak, the kind that leaves you staring at the ceiling, unsure if the world will ever feel the same. The detail that sticks? The way the drummer misses a beat in the second verse, then finds it again. It's not a flaw. It's a feeling, like someone catching their breath between tears. This wasn't polished soul. It was honest soul. And that honesty lingers longer than perfection ever could. Number 5, The Sly, Slick, and Wicked by The Lost Generation.
And you'll try to pull the wool on over your eyes.
There's a velvet darkness to this one. A kind of late-night elegance that wraps around you like smoke in a quiet bar. The Lost Generation came out of Chicago, and The Sly, Slick, and Wicked was their calling card. The title might sound playful, but the groove?
Young girl, be true now.
It's smoother than satin and twice as sharp. The rhythm doesn't move fast, but it moves cool. You don't dance to this song, you lean back and listen. Released at the tail end of the 60s, it carried the confidence of a group that knew how to strut without ever raising its voice. The vocals slide effortlessly over bass lines that walk with purpose. It's charm without pretense.
You've got to watch out, keep in front.
One detail worth remembering: the string section was recorded in a single take, no overdubs, no second passes. Just musicians who knew how to speak the language of soul with bows instead of voices. Some songs walk into the room without ever knocking. Number 4, That's What's Wrong With Me by The Natural 4.
And we'd like to just maybe sort of turn them over to you in hopes that you might...
The Bay Area wasn't always known for R&B, but The Natural 4 gave it reason to be. Before signing with Curtis Mayfield's label in the 70s, this earlier track from the 60s showed a group already brimming with quiet conviction.
I don't know if this is me or not.
That's What's Wrong With Me doesn't explode, it aches. It's the sound of a man trying to name the weight he's been carrying, only to find the words are heavier than he thought. The vocals don't perform, they reveal. And when the lead hits the chorus, there's a crack in the voice that doesn't sound like an accident, it's his. Here's what makes it special.
Can this be real? What I'm feeling now.
The background harmonies don't chase the lead, they surround it, like friends trying to hold you up when you don't want to say you're falling. This was soul made for solitude. And sometimes that's the soul that stays with us longest. Number 3, Let Love Come Between Us. By James and Bobby, Purify.
I'm yours to have and to hold.
This one might toe the edge of forgotten, not because it lacked beauty, but because time can be unkind to the gentle. James and Bobby Purify had their brief moment with I'm Your Puppet, but Let Love Come Between Us was the quieter cousin, hiding in plain sight.
Just a funny boy that makes you laugh when you.
It had that breezy southern soul feel, like something you'd hear rolling out of a diner jukebox just as the sun dipped below the horizon. The rhythm is unhurried, the horn section soft-spoken, and the harmony? So natural. It feels like family singing in the kitchen on a Sunday. But underneath all that ease is a plea, a gentle but urgent cry not to let pride undo something precious.
Treat me good, and I'll do anything. I'm just.
One subtle detail lingers, the way they sing the word love. Not dramatic, not showy, just sincere, like they meant it every time. Some songs don't grow with age, they settle in, like an old friend who never had to knock. Number 2, I'm So Glad I Found You by the Persuaders, early version.
So bad.
Before they hit bigger charts in the 70s, the Persuaders made music that lived in shadows in bedrooms. I'm So Glad I Found You wasn't a radio hit. It was a record store whisper, the kind of track someone handed you on vinyl with a knowing smile. And once you heard it, you knew.
Come on and see what I got.
The groove is slow, deliberate. The bass line pulses like a heartbeat in the quiet. And the vocal, it's not flashy, it's thankful. Every word is delivered like it was earned. One moment stands out. Near the bridge, the lead singer lets a breath hang in the air.
Mine, oh mine.
As if he's trying to hold back more than just words. That silence says more than the lyric ever could. This was music for people who'd been through something and came out softer, not harder. Number 1, Why Should I Cry by the Knights. Some songs don't just fade into obscurity. They vanish, like a letter never mailed. And yet, when they resurface, they feel like they never left. Why Should I Cry by the Knights is one of those. A band shrouded in mystery. Their footprint was small, but this track left a mark for those lucky enough to find it. Released in the late 60s with barely a whisper, the song opens with a slow, aching guitar line and a vocal that doesn't rise. It unfolds. The singer sounds worn, not from time, but from feeling too much all at once. Every line is soft-spoken, almost afraid of being heard too clearly. And that's the beauty of it. There's one detail. The final note doesn't resolve the way you expect. It drifts off, just slightly sharp, like someone turning away mid-sentence. It leaves you suspended, and somehow, that says everything. This wasn't music for the charts. This was music for the moments after, when you sat alone in a dim room, letting silence and sorrow hold you. We didn't forget this song. We just didn't know how much we'd missed it. These weren't the names we saw on magazine covers or heard at the top of the hour on AM radio. These were the voices that lived just outside the spotlight, but inside the moments that mattered. Each of these bands gave us something real, whether it was one perfect record or just one unforgettable note. And for those of us who lived through those years, it's not about how many times a song played, but how deeply it stayed. Thank you for sitting with this music tonight. Thank you for remembering, not just the names, but the feeling. If this list found a song you'd forgotten or one you never knew, go ahead and subscribe. Not because you have to, but because the music still has more to say. And if you're ready for more, our next video takes you even deeper into the shadows. 12 R&B songs only. Those who grew up in the 1990s remember. It's waiting on the screen. Another memory, another moment. Let's keep listening.